Worried about privacy? Don't be. With Galaxy Z Flip 5, there's no problem. Forgot to log out from a public PC.
Hi Sanjay, hi Subhan, very good evening. Very good evening to you. Yes, very good evening Subhan. So today we are going to discuss is about lipids and enzymes. Of course, before we put into the lipids, shall we have a small game? Okay. Can you find and tell me how many of the... Yes, Vaishnavi, very good evening. So tell me how many are saturated fat? How many are saturated fat? How many are saturated fat? Is it 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6? So can you guess the number? How many are saturated fat? Yes, Vaishnavi, come on. Come on, Sanjay and Subhan. Any guess? How many are saturated like cholesterol or not good fat? Yes, Vaishnavi. Good evening, Tarunika. Very good evening. Can you guess how many are saturated fat? Hi, Tilak. Good evening. See, we are just playing a game, Tilak and Tarunika. Vaishnavi guessed it 4. Yes, Sanjay. And Tilak, Tarunika, Subhan. How many are saturated? Can you just guess? Subhan said 3. And Sanjay said 4. Tilak, can you guess? Tilak, Tarunika? You think, okay, fine. So guess only, now. Yes, Tilak, can you guess from your side, Tilak? Shall I proceed? Of course, it is 4 fried food. Is the lipid? Yes, 4 is the correct answer. Tilak, your answer guessing is correct. Fried food, avocado is good food. And butter, of course, you know, saturated, unsaturated fat will be there. Ghee, unsaturated fat. And then happy evening. Happy evening, Pa. And cream, of course, is also unsaturated fat. Okay. So, yes, 4 is the correct answer. So, today we are going to discuss is about lipids. As you know, what is lipid? Lipid is fatty acid and glycerol. Is what we call it as lipids. So lipids may be classified into 3 criteria. They are simple lipid, compound lipid, and derived lipids. So simple lipid is just fatty acid and glycerol. Of course, it can be classified into, as you know, saturated and unsaturated fatty acid. What is the difference between saturated and unsaturated fatty acid, children? What is the difference between saturated and unsaturated fatty acids? Yes, Pa. Any guess? What is the difference between saturated and unsaturated fatty acid? Biological point of view or chemical point of view? Yes, children. Saturated, you have single bond. Yes, sir. So you have single bonds. So yes, saturated or having single bond. Very correct. Excellent, Sanjay. And Tilak, very correct answer. Excellent. Yes, it is. Unsaturated, we have double bonds. So what is the benefit of having double bond in lipids? Yes, Vaishnavi, excellent answer. Saturated. Arinishri, very high. Hi to you, Arinishri. Happy to see you. So saturated, we have single bond, and unsaturated, we have double bond. Yes, Raghavi, and yes, it is Dharini, I think. Yes, very good evening, Dharini. Hi, Dharini. Yes. So what is the advantage of having double bond? Is the question now? Can anybody answer me? What is the advantage of having double bond? Children? Yes, Abhishek. Very good evening. Oh, this is Monica. Oh, sorry. Yes, Monica. Very good evening, Monica. So, what is the advantage of having double bonds in the unsaturated fatty acids? Anybody? Biological point of view? It can be easily breakable, yes or not? So, C and C can be easily breakable or easily digestible. Yes, Mercy. Very good evening. Very good evening, Monica. Okay. Yes, so it is easily breakable. That is the advantage. Now, can you tell me what is? Yes, Jeevan. Very good evening. So, what is the advantage of trihydroxypropane? What is the common name of trihydroxypropane? Can anybody answer me? What is the advantage of trihydroxypropane? Yes, children. NCRT line. What is the common name of trihydroxypropane? Good evening, Dharani. Very good evening. Yes, what is the advantage of having trihydroxy? Yes, very correct answer. Excellent. It is glycerol. The common name of trihydroxypropane is glycerol. Okay. Now, can you answer me, children? See, what is the lipid which is having carbon 16? So, we will have 16 carbon in which lipid? A possible question again from the same paragraph of NCRT. We have carbon number 16. Any guess? Yes, Mercy. Yes, glycerol for the previous question. Carbon 16. Yes, Vaishnavi. Yes, it is palmitic. Very correct, Mercy and Jeevan and Dharini. Yes, it is palmitic acid. Very correct. Excellent. What is the, yes, Monique, yes, it is palmitic. Vaishnavi. Yes. 20 carbon we find in which of the lipid? 20 carbon. We find 20 carbon in which of the lipid? Twenty carbon we find in. Yes, Jeevan, excellent answer. It is arachidonic acid. Yes, it is arachidonic acid. We find, of course, 20 carbon including the carboxyl group. Yes, Mercy, very correct. Excellent answer, Monica and Dharini and Mercy and Jeevan. Excellent answering by all of you. Okay. And gingerly oil can maintain as oil even at very low temperature. Okay, so that is another important line of the paragraph in lipid. These are the possible question. Yes, Harini Shri. Very correct answer. It is arachidonic acid. And you know, conjugated lipids are the one, of course, it has some association. Like we have lipoprotein or phospholipids. Phospholipid, you know, one example, lecithin, we find in our alveoli. Okay, so these are all conjugated lipid. Can you give me an example, children, for derived lipid? It's a lipid derived component. We have more alcohol in it. More hormones in it. Can anybody guess? Derived lipid, we have hormones on it. Yes. Any guess for the derived lipid? Yes, children. Yes, it is steroid, cholesterol. You have a chemical formula even in our NCRT book. 100% correct, Harini Shri and Mercy and Jeevan. Yes, it is cholesterol. Okay. And this cholesterol, of course. Yes, steroids. And these steroids we are having for progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, corticosteroid, aldosteroid. Of course, all these are steroid components are derived from lipids only. Okay. And what is the advantage of lipid? Of course, the usage of lipid. Can anybody guess what is the use? Why we have to consume lipid? Yes, Aditya Prabhu, Vanakkam, Vandanam, Sushwagatam. Thank you for your presence. Happy to see your name. What are the uses of lipid we are discussing? Thank you for your presence, Aditya. What are the uses? See, when you are starving, if you are not having carbohydrate, who will provide energy? The energy will be provided by the lipids. Okay. So it is high energy yielding food item, actually lipids, of course. Okay. And this was a small game where many didn't join. So we just started actually. Can you guess among this how many are unsaturated fat? How many are unsaturated fat, children? Can anybody guess? We have fried food, avocado, butter, ghee, fish and cream. Among the six, how many are unsaturated? It is 1, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. What would be your answer, children? Unsaturated. Okay. Jeevan has his own guess. Subhan said 4. Sanjay said 2. Tilak said 2. Tarunika 4. Unsaturated. They do not have. They have double bonds. Yes, Arnishri, Mercy, Vaishnavi, Dharini. Anybody? Any more guess? Any more guess? Yes, it is 2 actually. See, you know, it is saturated. This is saturated. Ghee is saturated. Cream is saturated. So, unsaturated, we are having avocado and salmon fish. So, only 2 we are having unsaturated. Fat. Yes, Vaishnavi, saturated is 4. Unsaturated is 2. Am I correct? Yes, Madhavi, very good evening. Yes, Subhan, excellent answering. It is 2. It is 2. Very correct answer. Excellent. It is 2. So when many are there, I think I can share a small story with you all. As always, we used to do. இது எது பத்தி அப்படி பாத்தீங்கன்னா டைம் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட். இப்ப நிறைய பேர் அதை வச்சு யோசிச்சுட்டு இருப்பீங்க. இது ஒரு சின்ன கதை. இந்த கதை முடிஞ்சதும் உங்களோட ஃபீட்பேக் கண்டிப்பா சொல்லுங்க. ஐ ஹோப் எவ்ரிபடி இஸ் லிசனிங் த ஸ்டோரி. ஐ வாண்ட் எவ்ரி ஒன் டு லிசன் த ஸ்டோரி ஆல்சோ. இந்த கதை என்ன சொல்லுதுன்னா, ஒரு ஃபிஷர்மேன் இருப்பாரு. அவர் என்ன பண்றாரு, அவரோட டெய்லி டியூட்டி ஃபிஷ் போய் பிடிக்கணும் அந்த ஆறுல. அவர் வந்து ஃபிஷ் பிடிக்கிறதுக்காக நெட் எல்லாம் எடுத்துட்டு ஏர்லி மார்னிங் அவர் வீட்டை விட்டு கிளம்பி போறாரு. அப்படி ஏர்லி மார்னிங் அவர் வீட்டை விட்டு கிளம்பி போகும்போது அந்த ஆத்து ஓரமா வந்துடுறாரு. அப்ப இன்னும் வந்து சன்லைட் எல்லாம் வரல, ரொம்ப இருட்டா இருக்கு. அப்ப அவர் என்ன யோசிக்கிறாருன்னா, சரி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் வெளிச்சம் வரட்டும், நம்ம வந்து ஃபிஷ்ஷ பிடிக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த ஆத்து ஓரமாவே உட்காந்துட்டு காலை நல்லா தண்ணியில நனைச்சுண்டு அவர் என்ன பண்றாரு, அந்த காலை வந்து சலக்கு சலக்குன்னு தண்ணியில போட்டு ஆடுறாரு. நம்மளும் அதை தானே செய்வோம் இல்லையா? அதேதான் அவரும் செய்யறாரு. அப்ப அப்படி செய்யும் போது அவர் கால்ல ஏதோ தட்டுப்படுறது. அது என்ன அப்படின்னு அதை எடுத்து பார்த்தா ஏதோ துணி பைப் மாதிரி தெரியறது. அதுக்குள்ள ஏதோ மழமழன்னு ஒரு பொருள் இருக்கு, கல்லு மாட்டி. அவர் என்ன செய்யறாரு, அதை எடுத்து உருளையா இருக்கே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு தூக்கி விசுறாரு. தூக்கி விசிறும் போது தண்ணியில பட்டதும் என்ன சத்தம் கேட்கும், கலக் அப்படின்னு ஒரு சத்தம் கேட்கும் இல்லையா? அந்த சத்தம் அவருக்கு ரொம்ப ஹாப்பி கொடுக்குது. என்ன பண்றாரு, திரும்பி இன்னொரு கல்லை எடுக்கிறாரு, போடுறாரு. இதே மாதிரி பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு. அவர் வந்து ஒரு 24 இதை போட்டுட்டார். கடைசியா ஒன்னே ஒண்ணு அவர்கிட்ட இருக்கு. அப்ப கொஞ்சம் வெளிச்சமும் வர்றது. வெளிச்சம் வந்ததும் அவர் பாக்குறாரு, ஒரு கையில என்ன இருக்கு அப்படின்னு பார்த்தா அது வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ரெஷியஸ் ஸ்டோன் மாதிரி தெரியறது. டைமண்டோ இல்ல ஏதோ தெரியல. ஏதோ ஒண்ணு வந்து அங்க ரொம்ப ப்ரெஷியஸா அவர் கையில இருக்கு அப்படின்னு தோன்றுது. அவர் என்ன பண்றாரு, உடனே ஐயோ நம்ம இவ்ளோ இத்தையும் தூக்கி எரிஞ்சுட்டோமே, அது ஓடுற தண்ணியில ஓடிட்டு இருக்குமே அப்படின்னு அழறாரு. இப்ப இந்த கதை எதுக்காக எங்களுக்கு சொல்றீங்க நீங்க எல்லாரும் யோசிக்கலாம். இப்ப நம்ம கையில எவ்வளவு மாசம் தான் இருக்கு, அக்டோபர் முடிஞ்சிடுது. நவம்பர், டிசம்பர், ஜனவரி, பிப்ரவரி, மார்ச், ஏப்ரல் 6 மாசம் தான் நம்ம கையிலயும் இருக்கு இல்லையா? சோ போன மாசத்தை எண்ணி கவலைப்படுறதை விட இருக்கிற டைமை நம்ம எப்படி யூஸ் பண்ணி நீட் எக்ஸாம்ல நம்ம வந்து கலக்க போறோம், கலக்க போவது யாரு அப்படின்னு பார்க்க போறோம் அப்படின்னா அதுக்கான ஃப்ரேமிங், டைம் ஃப்ரேமிங் நமக்கு ரொம்ப முக்கியம். சோ டைம் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஓகேயா? சோ 24 வேஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டோம், அது ஓகே. அந்த ஒண்ணு நம்ம கையில இருக்கா இல்லையா, 6 மாசம். அந்த 6 மாசத்துக்கான டைம் ஷெட்யூலை கரெக்டா பிளான் பண்ணி when you stick on to it you will definitely succeed அப்படின்றதுக்கு தான் இந்த கதையை சொன்னேன். I hope you all enjoyed the story. How was the story? Please do comment, and if you like the story give one like also. Yes sir, you all like the story? கதை கேட்டு தூங்கிட்டீங்களா? Yes, thank you Dharanika. So you all enjoyed the story? இல்ல தூங்கிட்டீங்களோ? Yes Sanjay my dear. Are you all there? Shall we continue DNA? Yes, thank you. Please give in your comment also about the story, Jeevan, so that many others will watch the story and give one like also, don't forget. So DNA. So DNA போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி, you know it is for heredity. Yes, please follow also. இப்போ தருண்க்கு என்ன இருக்கு? தருண் is having curly hair. Okay, and Tarun has learned swimming. இது ரெண்டுல எது அவரோட ஹெரிடிட்டி கேரக்டர் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க? எஸ் மாதவி, தேங்க்யூ. அண்ட் சஞ்சய். சோ எது வந்து அவரோட ஹெரிடிட்டி ஸ்டோரி? எஸ், தேங்க்யூ திலக். சோ எது வந்து அவரோட ஹெரிடிட்டி கேரக்டர் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க? ஸ்விம்மிங்கா, கர்லி ஹேரா? எஸ் சுபான், these stories no, I am preparing for the sake of Suban. Where are you? I miss your fire, Suban. Yes, curly hair is the character. Very good. Yes, curly hair is the character which is hereditary, that is because of DNA. Swimming is an acquired character. Yes, thank you. Now, if you know all these details regarding DNA, so what is the human DNA? Human DNA, is it A DNA or B DNA or C or D? What one? You will guess it. So, which is human DNA? Is it A, B, C or D? Any guess? Yes, children? Yes, it is B. Very good, Jeevan. Excellent answering by you. Yes, it is excellent. You are rocking today. It is B. Very correct, Madhavi. It is B DNA. So, what is the distance between one turn and another turn? It is the distance between one turn and another turn in Armstrong unit will be how much? Yes, my dear Madhavi. Dharani. Yes, it is 3.4 Armstrong unit between one base pair and another base pair. Okay. One base pair and another base pair is how much? 3.4 only, na? So between the, am I correct? Yes, Dharni. So in nanometer, if you write between base pair, it is 0.34 nanometer. Ah, yes. So between 10, that is turns. When you see about the turns, it will become 34 Armstrong unit or 3.4 nanometer. So either they may ask, sorry. Ah, yes, correct only. So it is either they may ask you in Armstrong unit or they may ask you in nanometer. You should be cautious about the unit also. Yes. And you know always adenine pair with thymine and guanine pair with cytosine. And you can find 2 hydrogen bond between adenine and thymine, 3 hydrogen bond between cytosine and guanosine. So what is a very common question here? Yes. So the common question here is, see for example, if we have A is 20, find the thymine, guanine and cytosine. Can you guess, children? They have given the value of A. You know A is always equivalent to T and they have given percentage. So you know the clue is here. So can anybody guess? Yes, can you all guess it? Yes, T is 20. Very correct answer, Subhan. Excellent. Very correct answer. 100%. It is the correct answer. T is 20%. So C and G will be. Yes, Madhavi, Jeevan, Dharni. Anybody, those who are participating without giving your name can also give your name. Yes, it is. I'm your teacher only. See, 20%, 20% in percentage is over means. Very correct. Excellent, Madhavi and Subhan and Vaishnavi. Excellent answer. You're all rocking today. Yes, it's great. So C and G will become 30%. Yes, it is 30%. Very correct answer. Excellent, Jeevan. Superb. Okay. And you know, this is what bond between A and T. It is hydrogen bond. And between the nitrogen base and sugar, it is called glycosidic bond. And then, of course, the sugar and phosphate are connected by ester bond, and the phosphate of one side and other side is connected by phosphodiester bond. So these are the bonds we are having in DNA. So it is glycosidic, ester and phosphodiester bond along with hydrogen bond we have in our DNA. Yes, sir. And you know the sugar, it is deoxyribose sugar we have. So we have primary pigments we discussed like carbohydrates, sugars and all that. Secondary, carotenoids and anthocyanin. Can you give children example? Where do we find carotenoids? The carotenoids are found in Yes, Yogeshwari, very good evening. Hi. Very good evening to you. So where do we find our carotenoids color? Is it in beetroot or tomato or in carrot or everything? Any guess? Yes, it is carrot. Vaishnavi, carotenoids is the correct answer. Of course, we have in tomato also beta carotene, lycopene. Of course, carrot. Anthocyanin you find in sugar beet. Alkaloids, morphine and codeine. Yes, carrot. Very correct. Yes, Jeevan. You're rocking, man. With a carrot. Yes. Alkaloids, morphine and codeines. So, morphine, you know, it is opium, sedative, painkiller, etc. Codeine, we find it in even our cough syrup. Okay, so only difference between morphine and codeine. Morphine will make us addictive, codeine may not. Yes, Jayasurya, Vanakkam, Vandana, where is your Vanakkam is missing today? Yes, Jayasurya, very good evening. Yes, Anishri. And terpenoids, of course, monoterpenes and diterpenes. Essential oils, lemongrass oil, you know, salad and all, they'll be adding this oil. Toxins, abrin and ricin. So ricin they'll be using to kill a person naturally in a movie, Tamil movie. Any of you remember the movie? What is the movie they used to kill a person using ricin? Yes. Vanakkam Sushwagatam. Jayasurya. Very good evening. அது என்ன மூவில வந்து ரைசின் யூஸ் பண்ணி கில் பண்ணுவாங்க ஒரு ஃபேமஸ் டைரக்டர் வேற நடிச்சிருப்பாரு அதுல yes you joined late you missed one story also today so what is that ricin யாருக்கா ஞாபகம் வருதா it will be like a natural death பாரு துப்பறிவாளன் is the excellent answer yes Subhan அப்ப அதுல வந்து கில் பண்ணுவாங்க இல்லையா yes excellent answer that is துப்பறிவாளன் and lectins conconovalent is a beans type drugs vinblastine and curcumin vinblastine நம்ம அந்த நித்திய கல்யாணின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா அலேந்து எடுக்கிறது தான் vinblastine இது கேன்சர் ட்ரீட்மென்ட்க்கு யூஸ் ஆகுது எஸ் மாதவி துப்பறிவாளன் விஷால் கொலை பண்ண மாட்டாரு of course அது வந்து பாக்யராஜ் வந்து அதை ஷூட் பண்ணுவாரு ரைசின் வச்சுட்டு to kill of course அதுதான் okay vinblastine so you will remember வின்பிளாஸ்டின் அப்படின்னா எதுக்கு அந்த நித்திய கல்யாணி சொல்லுவாங்க. அது வந்து என்ன டு கியூர் கேன்சர். குர்குமின் ஒன்றும் இல்லை நம்ம மஞ்சள் தான் அதுலேருந்து எடுக்கிறது. ஓகே ஆன்டி பாக்டீரியல் யூனோ. Polymeric substances like rubber, gums, cellulose, all these are there. Yes, sir? So, நம்ம வந்து அடுத்த டாபிக் உள்ள நுழையிறோம் which is enzyme. இப்ப என்சைம்க்கு போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு டிடெக்டிவ் கேள்வி கேட்க போறோம். யார் அந்த டிடெக்டிவ் கேள்விக்கு பதில் சொல்றீங்க அப்படின்னு பார்க்கலாம். என்சைம்க்கும் நல்லா யோசிக்கணும்ப்பா. என்சைம்க்கும் ஹார்மோன்ஸ்க்கும் என்ன வித்தியாசம்? What is the difference between enzyme and hormones? பார்க்கலாம் யார் நல்லா யோசிச்சு ஆன்சர் பண்றா. மூளைய கசக்கி பிழிஞ்சு. A funny question. Yes, what is the difference between enzyme and hormone? Yes, Subhan, come on. Yes, Jayasurya. Harinishri. Anybody? Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shall I reveal the answer? Shubham யோசிச்சுட்டே இருக்கா. ஓகே ஆக்சுவலி நம்ம என்சைமை கேட்க முடியாது, ஹார்மோனியமை கேட்கலாம் தானே? எஸ் ஸ்பெல்லிங் இஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் லிட்டில். ஹார்மோனியம் கேட்கலாம். ஹார்மோன்ஸ் அப்படின்னும் போது நம்ம அந்த ஹார்மோனியமா யோசிச்சுக்கணும். இட் இஸ் அ ஃபனி ஜோக். யூ ஷுட் நாட் திங்க் ஆல்வேஸ் ப்ரோட்டீன் என்சைம் அப்படிலாம் யோசிச்சுட்டே இருக்கக்கூடாது. ஸோ யூ ஷுட் திங்க் லிட்டில் ஃபனி மேல. அஃப்கோர்ஸ் என்சைம்ஸ் நம்ம கேட்க முடியாது. பத்தியா ஜெயசூர்யா, ஹார்மோன்ஸ் ஆர் ரிலீஸ்ட் இன் ஸ்மால் அமௌண்ட், ஆல்வேஸ் ஸ்டடி. ஸோ ஹார்மோனியம் நம்ம கேட்கலாம், என்சைமை கேட்க முடியாது. அதுதான் இந்த கேள்விக்கான 100% கரெக்டான ஆன்சர் ஜெயசூர்யா. ஸோ வாட் ஆர் என்சைம்ஸ்? ஸோ என்சைம்ஸ் ஆர் நத்திங் பட் தே ஆர் proteins. Okay, does all enzymes are protein? Yes, Kavya, very good evening. Hi, Kavya. Thank you for joining. You missed one miserable story also and you missed one question. What is this, Kavya? Always joining late. So, all enzymes are protein. True or false? All enzymes are proteins. All enzymes are proteins. True or false, children? All enzymes are not protein. Of course, they are having exception like, ribosome is there. Yes, ribosome is not a protein enzyme. Am I correct? Of course, 99% of the enzymes are protein except ribosome. It was a previous year question also, some 2 to 3 years before the question came. Okay, so it is a non-protein enzyme which is ribosome. Enzymes have been first invented by Louis Pasteur. Yes, most of the enzymes are protein, but of course you have exception. The one of the exception is ribosome, which I wrote here, which is a nucleic acid enzyme, not a protein enzyme. These enzymes have been discovered by Louis Pasteur, I said. Okay, enzymes accelerate the reaction how many times? Is it 1 time, 10 times, 100 times, 1000 times, million time, 1 million or 10 million? Can you guess? See, I'm so liberal to give 6 option to you. Is it 1 time, 10 time, 100 time, 1000 time, 1 million or 10 million time? Accelerate the reaction. Statement type question you may get. How many times it accelerate the reaction? Yes, children, come on. NCRT line only. Okay. Yes, Jeevan gave his answer. Anyone else would like to give an answer? NCRT line. Vaishnavi also gave 1 million time. Any more answering? Yes, it is 10 million time is the correct answer. Excellent answer, Madhavi, Jeevan. Yes, Vaishnavi, you have tried. Very good. It is 10 million times. Actually, it is reacting. Okay. So, 10 million time it is accelerating the reaction. As you know, one example, carbonic anhydrase. We may get 6 lakh molecule of the product within a second when we use enzyme, whereas we may get 200 molecule of product only when we use chemical as a catalyst. So this is a difference. So you can see how enzyme and substrate works like a lock and key. A particular key only fit into the lock and then you are getting a product. You can of course open the house and get inside. If you put a wrong key, it may not open. So something like that, only enzyme and substrate binds and forms the product. Once the product is formed, again enzyme is free. It will do the catalytic activity once again. Yes, sir? Are you clear? So this slide is again an important slide. Most of the time you will get question on this. Is it exothermic or endothermic reaction? So when the product level is lower than the substrate, then it is exothermic reaction. And you can see when you are having the activation with the enzyme, the potential energy we require is more or less, children, with the enzyme. The need of potential energy is less or more. Without enzyme, the need of potential energy is less or more. So you are going to give me the answer. The answer is in the board only. Just try, children, those who are participating. Yes, it is exothermic, very correct. Yes, excellent. With the enzyme, it is less. With enzyme, it is less. Very correct. Excellent answering by Jeevan and Madhavi. Excellent, Madhavi and Jeevan. Yes. Without enzyme, of course, it will be, yes, less with enzyme, Dharani. Excellent answer, Dharani. Without enzyme, anybody would like to answer? Yes, Subhan. Excellent, Subhan. Without enzyme, we need to spend potential energy more. Yes, Dharani and Jeevan, very correct. Without enzyme, we need to spend more. So this is the possible answer. So sometimes this graph as such they will be giving you and they may ask you, of course you know, y-axis we are having potential energy, x-axis progress of reaction, and you can see the substrate formation product. As you can see, substrate is higher than the product, so it is exothermic reaction. And temperature. So at what temperature in the graph the activity of enzyme is more? In the given graph, the activity of enzyme is more in what temperature you are going to find out. So as you can see, gradually when the temperature rises, the activity will also increase. Beyond one point, the activity declines. So what point it was maximum working? That was the question now. Again you can see, yes, very correct, excellent Jeevan. You are rocking today. Yes, it is 40 degree where the temperature, the enzymes are active. Okay. pH. Of course, certain enzymes will be very active at pH 7 and certain enzymes are very active at 1.8. You know, in stomach it will be active at acidic pH. Certain enzyme may be active at alkaline pH. It varies. Now let me ask you one question. See, yes, Madhavi, very correct, 40. Now, certain enzyme will be active even at higher temperature. You might have learned. What is that enzyme if you remember, or any organism? Can you tell me? At higher temperature, the enzymes are active. Exception. The enzymes are active even at higher temperature. What is it? Which enzyme? Any guess? You all might have learned biotechnology. Yes, Dermis aquaticus, Tag polymerase, Arachidactyria bacteria. Yes, Jeevan. Yes, very correct. Excellent. Yes, it is in 12th chapter. It is there. Biotechnology, of course. Tag polymerase is the enzyme, of course. Okay, and this tag polymerase will be active even at higher temperature. Do you remember the temperature, children? At what temperature tag polymerase will be very active? Yes, Dharmi and Jeevan, Madhavi, anyone? Good evening, Parthasarathi. Very good evening. Happy to see your name. We just started and we are always almost halfway through. We are discussing biomolecules, enzymes part. So I was asking a question, what temperature Tag polymerase will be active? Yes, it is 70 to 75 is again very correct answer. Excellent. 72 is the optimum temperature for the Tag polymerase to get activated. Yes, 72. 94 for denaturation process. Okay. Now concentration of the substrate. When we keep on increase the substrate, the enzyme may not act. Can you see here? We are having substrate here 1 and 2. Enzymes are more. Means it cannot act. So all enzymes are not reacting with the substrate. Only 2 enzymes can react. Similarly, if you see the other side, more substrate, less enzyme also, the condition is same. Only one substrate can bind to an enzyme. They get saturated. You understood? So you can see the graph of saturation here. Then we are going to discuss is about inhibitors. So what are inhibitors? They are going to stop the reactions. Is what we call it as inhibitor. As you know, this is enzyme and we are having substrate and inhibitor. Can you see the binding site of the substrate and inhibitor is almost same. Almost same. So instead of substrate, here you can see inhibitor go and bind. We may not get the product. So no product is formed there. Generally, where we apply this competitive inhibition, the competitive inhibitors are applied generally in one procedure. What is it? Any guess? Yes, Dhyaneshwari, very good evening. Happy to see your name. We were discussing biomolecules enzyme. I am just asking a question, Dhyaneshwari. Example for competitive inhibitor. I'll give some example. Is it coming in digestive juices? Is that coming in antibiotic? Is that coming in hormones? Yes, hello Dhyaneshwari. Very good evening. Happy evening to you. And tell me any example. Is it hormones? Is it digestive juice? Is that comes under antibiotic? Succinate, melanate is example. Yes. NCRT example it is. Jeevan. Yes. Succinate and melanate. It's very correct. Apart from that, antibiotic also. Okay, so this antibiotic is similar to the bacteria. They go bind there, does not allow the bacteria to multiply. A succinate dehydrogenase and melanate is very correct example. Vaishnavi, excellent Vaishnavi for the answering, and Jeevan, excellent. Non-competitive inhibition. You can see the picture now. This is the substrate where the binding site is tip. Yes, you are having similar. But can you see the inhibitor? It is not at all similar to the substrate. Okay. Even then it stopped the reaction. How? When this inhibitor bind to the enzyme complex. Now can you see the alteration of binding site? So substrate, no more binding can be possible with the enzyme when you are having inhibitor on the other corner. So this is what non-competitive inhibitor. Can you write the example, children? Example for non-competitive inhibitor. Yes, Dhyaneshwari. Any example comes to your mind, children? When inhibitor bind, there won't be any process of the enzyme. It begins with C. Yes, Vaishnavi, excellent answering. It is cyanide. Yes, of course. When cyanide binds to it, of course, no enzymatic reaction of respiration will be carried out. Okay. Yes, it is correct. Cyanide is non-competitive inhibitor. Okay. And we have even allosteric inhibitor. Allosteric inhibitor we otherwise called a feedback inhibitor. So based on the final product we may produce or we may stop. Yes, Dhyaneshwari, it is cyanide. Excellent answering. Very good. 100% you are correct. Okay, feedback inhibitor. Of course, see for example, we are getting glucose into glucose 6-phosphate. This glucose 6-phosphate, see for example, if I should get 100, once I reach 100, it may not process glucose into glucose 6-phosphate. It will stop. So based on the end product, we may continue or we may stop. That is what we call it as allosteric inhibitor or feedback inhibitor. Now we are into the classification of enzymes. So first one, we are having oxidoreductase or dehydrogenase. So you know the meaning of oxidation. Adding oxygen means removal of hydrogen. So either we add or we remove is what oxidoreductase enzyme. Can you give example, children, for dehydrogenase enzyme? Any one dehydrogenase enzyme. You may know, you might have studied more in Krebs cycle. Dehydrogenase enzyme, anyone? Just now also many of you wrote any guess? Any dehydrogenase? Any of you? Shall I reveal? Succinate dehydrogenase, you wrote pyruvate dehydrogenase is there. Alpha ketoglutarate glutarate dehydrogenase is there. Fumarate dehydrogenase is there. So all these will come as dehydrogenase enzyme. Yes, sir? Transferase. Yes, pyruvate dehydrogenase is the correct answer. Jivan, excellent answering Jivan. So transferase, you can see exactly in NCRT. So S-G plus S dash is this side. If you see the other side, S dash is having the G. So that means the G group from S is transferred to another side. Same here, C is transferred to B component. So it may be a methyl group you can transfer, or it may be amino group. So anything, transaminase, transmethylase. So anything is used to transfer means we call it as transferase. It can be even a sugar compound. Hydrolases. Hydrolases, when you use water to break the bonding, it may be peptide, it may be glycosidic or ether or ester, anything. When we break using water, it is what we call it as hydrolytic. Most of our digestive enzymes are hydrolytic enzyme. Can you give one example of hydrolytic enzyme, children? One example of hydrolytic enzymes. So many digestive enzymes we are having. Anyone? Any one example of hydrolytic enzymes? Any one example of hydrolytic enzymes? Anybody? Shall I reveal? Maybe pepsin, maybe renin, maybe trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, lipase, stepsin, dipeptidase, nucleotidase, nucleosidase, all these will come under hydrolytic. Liases. See, this line is very important. Most of the time they'll ask you this thing. Liases also we are breaking. Yes, Madhavi, very correct. It is pepsin. Pepsin is the correct answer. Yes. So pepsin we are breaking. See, here also you are breaking, but without using water and leaving double bond as such is what liases enzyme. So you are not disturbing the double bond and you are not using the water, but removal happens is what we call it as lytic enzymes. Okay. Isomerase. So it is optical images, geometrical images or positional isomeric, or we call it as isomers. You know aldose and ketose sugars, glucose and fructose. Or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So all these are isomers only. Yes or no? So here also we discussed lytic enzyme. See here you can take a carboxypeptidase, carboxylase. Okay, so these will come. Ligases, they are joining together, linking the two components. See here you can see X plus Y plus ATP. Here XY became. So joining the two component is what we call it as ligases. They are linkers. Yes, sir? Am I correct? Now, who are these cofactors? So, when something joins with the enzyme, then it is what we call it as cofactor. So, apoenzyme when combined with cofactor only, it becomes a complete enzyme. These cofactors are generally, is it a mineral or protein or it is a vitamin? Most commonly which will come as a cofactor or coenzyme? Any guess? See, these cofactors may be organic or inorganic also. Yes, all three will come, of course. Now the first condition we are discussing, peroxidase with catalase, where it is inseparable. When we digest any amino acid, okay, we may form, yes, vitamin most commonly, NAD, FAD, all that, they are component of niacin. So we may form, of course, H2O2 peroxide. Okay. Yes, Parthasarathy, this apoenzyme itself already protein only. Cofactor rarely only protein. They may be mineral also. They may be all three are possible. So hydrogen peroxide is formed with the help of enzyme catalase. Now the hydrogen peroxide will be converted into water and oxygen with the help of peroxidase. See, without catalase, I cannot do peroxidase work. Without peroxidase, catalase cannot perform. These two are needed, must. So, non-separable organic group. Example is peroxidase and catalase. As you know, separable organic component NAD, nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide. Separable, which is a vitamin, cofactor. Okay. And then we have, of course, metals may play a role in cofactors. We have carboxypeptidase with the zinc. And of course, zinc is even playing a role in alcohol dehydrogenase. Carboxylase. And then, magnesium is playing a role in rubisco and pepco. Molybdenum in nitrogen reductase. Calcium in isocitrate dehydrogenase. So these are some of the examples of the metals that play a role, minerals that play a role in enzymes. So these are also cofactor, but inorganic cofactor. With that we completed, of course, enzymes part also. So biomolecule generally we may get to. The story also might be triggering you to make you utilize of your time. I believe, I pray God also for every one of you, those who attend the class today. Please do practice, plan yourself for the given 7 months time with your backlogs and practice more to succeed well, children. Thank you all. I hope this class will be useful. You don't forget to put your like and comments. Thank you all so much. Any doubts, you can stay back and ask me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Subhan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jeevan. Thank you, Madhavi. Thank you, Vaishnavi. Thank you, Dhyaneshwari. Thank you, Nandika. Thank you, Sanjay. Bye. Thank you, Dharni. Thank you, Partha Sardi.